Okay, I've got these two uprights for my fireplace surround, and I need to fill this void here with a panel, and it's kind of a, I shouldn't say real difficult thing to do, but gluing it in place, I've got to take a couple things into consideration. So you can see here that I didn't take care of this glue squeeze out when I glued it up, the spacers and the two side pieces together, along with these face pieces here to these. So that had to be addressed. I could take time and get rid of all that with a chisel, I suppose, but I don't really want to do that. So what I did was, here's my interior panel. It's just going to go in here like that. All I did was just cut two small rabbets here to give this squeeze out a place to go, so that when I put this in here, it will lay flat. I gotta kind of get it started here. There we go. So now I can put it in there and it'll lay flat. So the next thing then is, well, how do you clamp this in place? How do you get pressure on this? And for the longest time, I've had these blocks that I've made, and this is just a dry fit over here. But here's the panel. Here's a couple blocks here, and then here's one spanning the upright, and that allows me to put pressure on here. And these are basically acting as cauls now, putting pressure down on that panel. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 locations of these cauls, and it works out pretty slick. I rotated this over on its side. It's nice and tight down the full length, and so I'm going to use minimal glue here because I don't want a mess on the inside. So I'm going to try and keep the glue to the outside of both these uprights, and then I'll clamp it. The other thing, let's see, what was I going to tell you here? Oh, the other thing is to raise this up off the table with a set of interlocking blocks that I made. I mean, that could be anything. Just something to get this up off the table to give your clamps a clearance here, so you're not fighting this thing as you put them on there. So now you can see I can take this clamp off, or when I'm getting ready, when the glue is on there, I'll be able to put that on there nice and easy. I'll just have to put very little pressure on that. It's not going to be a lot, and then I can glue up my panel and be all done with that one. All right, there it is, basically dry fitted together. I'm not going to put the shiplap behind here. You just have to kind of imagine what that would look like, I guess. But everything looks good. I mean, my measurements are very, very close to what I had drawn up. But then you can see here, first of all, the shiplap is going to go back behind these two pieces, recessed in there a couple of inches. I'm going to take these down before they fall. And then the crown molding will also go up across the top here as well. So here's how this will look with this piece. Once we get everything installed, this will be the last to go in. We'll just miter cut that on both ends, and that'll give it a nice finished look there. And then, like I said, again, with the crown molding up across the ceiling. So I'm very happy with the way this worked. So let me take it apart here and show you these boxes that I've got put together here. So the mantle will, at some point, will get screwed into this part here, into that box, I guess I'll call it. So here is the piece going across the back, or across the middle. So nothing but a 3-piece box. I ended up using plywood here instead of MDF because I had it laying around. So that's the connecting piece, and then you can see here is the one leg here and the dominoes. So what I did was I dry fitted these 2 pieces together, or these 4 pieces, the 2 legs and the upper and lower part of the middle box. So these were connected to the legs, and then I cut this piece to size and laid it in there and glued it while it was dry fitted together. So that worked out really well, and you can see that it goes together very nicely. So it's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 main pieces with the shiplap, and then my pieces for the base, and then the crown molding. So looking forward to getting that installed for her. But it turned out really nice. Thanks for watching.